I know you clicked on this video because you're probably wanting more information about the visa extension process when going to immigration here in Bali, and as well as the updated information on visa on arrival and the no quarantine policy. We are trying to provide you with all the information possible, but it can be quite tricky when you're watching 101 videos here on YouTube and you're reading through 10,000 blogs on the internet. That's why you should check out Nomeo, because on Nomeo, all the information is searchable. If you want to check it out, simply click the link in the description. Otherwise, let's get into today's video. There are a lot of unknowns in this life, and these unknowns can be quite daunting. Like applying for your visa and going through immigration. Although you might be fully prepared for the process, the overall outcome is still not in your control. And generally, when we're going through this process, we have so many questions, like what is expected of me? What do I need? Am I going to be questioned? And what is offensive to the local people? So in order to put your mind at ease, I'm going to share with you our experience when going to the immigration office here in Bali and extending our visa. I will also share with you the new quarantine and traveling regulations for Bali. So let's get right into this video. If you're like us and coming to Bali on the B211A Visa, then when you arrive, you'll get a sticker in your passport, which is valid for 2 months. So for 2 months, you can travel around Bali and you don't need to worry about anything. But after that, you can extend your visa 4 times, each time for 1 month. And basically on the first extension, you need to go to the immigration office and take a photo, do your fingerprints, and answer any questions they might have. So let's get into what the process looks like. I would suggest that 2 weeks before your visa is expiring, that you text your visa agent and say, hey, I still want to stay in Bali. I would like to extend my visa. Then after that, you need to take your passport to your visa agent and make the visa payment. And then they will send your passport to the immigration and apply for the extension. Maybe a week or so later, you will get a notification from your visa agent and they will give you a date and a time that you should go to the immigration office. Then you will go there, and when you arrive there, you should show a QR code that your visa agent gave you at the front desk. Then the front desk will give you a ticket number. You can wait for your ticket number to be called, and then once it's called, you obviously sit down at the booth and you take your fingerprints and take a photo and answer some questions. Some of my friends said that they will ask you where you're staying and what you're doing here, but for us, they simply just took our photo and did our fingerprints, so that was pretty much it. Then after that, they will stamp your ticket number, and then you should take a picture of that ticket number and send it to your visa agent. So basically, that was the whole process. We drove 30 to 40 minutes to the visa immigration office, and that's all we did. We showed the QR code, we got the ticket number, we did the fingerprints, we took the photo, and the whole process took about like 10 minutes. It was super duper easy.
That's it. Sit down and stand up. That's all.
That was really fast, actually. I actually had a conversation with the girl, like.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah, and the guy was asking Adam about his tattoos. It was so chill. Just like take a photo, fingerprints, boom, done, out.
Yeah.
The drive was longer.
Yeah.
The only thing I do suggest, or the only thing you actually have to do, I don't suggest it, you actually have to do it, is wear conservative clothes. I don't know if you've seen our previous video. I mentioned it about what to pack in Bali. I mentioned about packing 1 change of conservative clothes, and this is when you need it. You need to wear conservative clothes to the immigration office. That meaning you need to cover your shoulders and you need to cover your knees. I've heard that you also need to wear closed shoes, but I did see some people there wearing sandals. But yeah, just keep it in mind, you need to cover your shoulders and you need to cover your knees. And then basically the whole process takes 10 days for them to extend your visa and for the new sticker to be in your passport. And then your visa agent will call you up or text you and say, hey, your visa's ready, you can come pick up your passport. But then what I would suggest is actually that you leave your passport at your visa agent, and well, that's if you want to still extend it, because every extension is only a month, and I would suggest that you always just be ahead of time. So 2 weeks before your visa is running out, you just text them. So yeah, basically for those 4 months, your visa agent can keep your passport and you can keep texting them saying, I want to extend it. You make the payment, they send your visa off. And that is the process. It is that easy and it's that simple. If you have any questions about the visa immigration process, then let us know down below. Otherwise, let's get into the new visa requirements and quarantine requirements here in Bali. So basically, in the past 2 months that we have been here in Bali, the regulations have changed so much. And if you've seen our previous videos, this is exactly what we said. We said, do your own research because the regulations are forever changing, which is not a bad thing. It is a good thing because Indonesia and Bali are keeping up with the COVID situation here and they are changing the regulations accordingly. So basically, in the past 2 months, quarantine was dropped to 5 days, and then it was dropped to 3 days if you have the booster shot, and then the kind of quarantine bubble was introduced. And the quarantine bubble was basically you could roam around your hotel and do whatever you want in the hotel for 3 days, and then after those 3 days, if you tested negative, you were free to go. And now they have a kind of no quarantine policy. And the reason why I say no quarantine is because you still need to book a CHSE approved hotel, and that means that for those 4 days you will be in that hotel, and when you arrive to Bali and you do a PCR test at the airport, if that test comes back negative, then on the first day of your stay in the hotel, you are free to roam the island and do whatever you want. You then, on the third day, also need to do another test, and if that also comes back negative, then you are free to check out of the hotel and roam the island. So it is kind of like a no quarantine, but you still need to spend the money and book that hotel. It is in the works. I have heard and read online that they are gonna also introduce the Airbnb version so that you can book into an Airbnb for 4 days, and then on the third day you still need to do the test. But if your test comes back positive after you arrive in Bali, then you'll be sent to an isolation hotel. Or if your COVID is like really bad, then you'll be sent to an isolation hospital. And all the costs need to be covered by you. But I really do think this is a great option for tourists who are coming to Bali because it now allows you to kind of have no quarantine. And they have also introduced a visa on arrival. Now, the visa on arrival definitely has its pros and it definitely has its cons compared to the B211A. The visa on arrival, when you arrive, you will get 30 days and it can only be extended once. So you have a maximum of 60 days here in Bali, but after that, you need to leave. Whereas the B211A visa, you have 2 months up front and then you can extend it 4 times. So you have a maximum of 180 days. As well as the visa on arrival is only for direct flights to Bali, whereas the B211A visa can be, you can fly to any airport in Indonesia. It doesn't have to be Bali. And yeah, basically the visa on arrival is obviously much cheaper and the B211A is a little bit more pricey. But it all just depends on what your plan is if you're coming to Bali and how long you want to be here. But just keep in mind that this video is more of a heads up. I just wanted to update you if you are following our videos and watching all our videos. And if you are coming to Bali, that this is just a heads up on what's going on here. Please do your own research and ask your visa agents whether or not you meet all the requirements, because the visa on arrival is only available to 23 countries and the B211A visa is open to pretty much most countries. But do your own research and always ask questions if you don't know. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it was helpful. If you have any other questions, leave them down in the comments. Otherwise, leave a like and subscribe and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!